Long way, get this shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit long way, long shit long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way, but I gotta get this shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be a new slave, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand, she don't understand, she just gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get this shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a long way. My name is Tori, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get this shit the long way, long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, yeah, we get shit the long way, yeah. Cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Testing, testing. All right, there we go. Welcome. Let me get everything set up here. Remove some stuff here. All righty. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name is LJ Young, the founder of SMD. I am not SMD. SMD is a family of people that they just think like me. And what is that? That I'm here to share my gift. And what is my gift? My gift is that I understand that capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. Now, the people that live on the negative side of the economy, they're called debt slaves. All right. Debt slaves are people that believe they can own with no money of their own at all. They don't have no money to buy anything. People that believe they can buy houses with mortgages. People that believe they can buy cars with car loans. People that believe they can save on a retirement plan while having student loan debt older than the retirement plan. Those are called debt slaves. They believe they can do things that are 100% mathematically impossible. But the psychological part is this: they don't know it. They don't know that they're debt slaves, right? Now, I was once a debt slave, just like you. I was the best kind. The college educated, six-figure earning, IT engineer, everything that they say you're supposed to be somebody in the debt matrix. I was that person. That was me. All right. Long story short, I knew something was wrong because I made it to this six-figure number that everybody in the debt matrix talks about. Hey, get six figures. When you get there, you'll be somebody. Well, I did it. And guess what? there was still nothing there, and I couldn't figure it out until I found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically says, take the calculator and his baby steps and get out of debt. And that's what I did. I got to zero. And then I got to the part of Mr. Ramsey's plan. He says, hey, when you get down to pay off all your debt and get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% into retirement. I said, whoa, wait a minute, Dave. When I open up the calculator, put in my mortgage payment minus my mortgage balance and hit equal, I see a large negative number. According to the laws of mathematics, it says I don't have 15% of anything to put anywhere. So that's why I left Mr. Ramsey. That's called business. Okay. When it starts doing things that make no mathematical sense, I leave, because that's called business. Nothing's wrong with it. He's just going to send you to one of his investor pros, and you're going to pay them to break the laws of mathematics or something. I don't know. Hey, listen, whatever his business is none of my business. So that's where I left. Okay. 1 second. All right. Once I realized that, I saw my credit report for what it was once I got to zero, because I've never been to zero into my life until I got into my 40s. Once I got there, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I realized a credit report is nothing more than an owner's ledger. They just kept track of all the businesses that owned me. They just keep a list of all the businesses that had owned me. And my credit score was nothing more than reward points for staying in debt with the businesses listed on my credit report who owned me. So once I got out of debt, I had no more owners on my credit report. My credit report proves it. I was like, that's proof that I own the business of myself. Yep. How many people you think know that? Don't know that. Millions. Those are called debt slaves. They don't know that. Now, those of you that just come to the channel, you're saying to yourself, well, LJ, now they know it. You're saying it out loud. No, they don't. Even if you hear me say that, they won't know it because it's psychological. They don't know that even if you tell them. Now, I want everybody to remember this. Everything I'm saying, I can prove with mathematics, okay? Never forget that part. And if you don't agree with me, that means you don't agree with math, and there's nothing I can do about that. And that's where we part ways. Because trying to convince somebody of mathematics, that would mean I'm crazy. Because nobody in the history of the world has ever broken the laws of mathematics, so that's where I'm going to go. So everything I'm saying is true. But so once I got to the positive side, I realized in order for me to do business right in the business side of the world, I had to first own the business of myself. That's the only way you're going to know. I bring people from the negative side to the positive side, where you participate in the same system, but positively. Taxes are your friends, so are the banks, whatever, all the moving pieces. It doesn't matter, because cheating on your taxes would be cheating on yourself on the positive side. We don't do that over here. Nope. Listen, math makes it obvious if you are cheating on your taxes. Math makes that plain and simple. It's like, oh yeah, that person's not. So when I bring you here, if you want to become the best in anything you put your mind to, create a successful business, I help people do that. You will thank me for the rest of your life. And I'm not even bragging. I want to make sure everybody on the internet that sees this video, there is nobody like me. And I'm not bragging, and I can prove it. You guys got to remember that. I can prove everything I'm saying. It's your job to go try to find somebody like me, which you will not, because I'm sharing a gift. I help you participate in the same system you do today, but just positively, where you earn phantom income. Did you know, listen, did you know it's 100% impossible for debt slaves to save money on taxes? They can't. They can't. They don't know that. And that's how it's supposed to be. Listen, you come to the positive side, I'll help you understand how it works, and then you sell to the debt slaves. Because that's what they're there for. They're there to consume whatever you create. So create something successful, brilliant, and they will consume it because that's what they do. That's their part of, but you don't have to be there. Debt slaves are there by choice. They are there because they don't trust a calculator. Here, let me give you, for those of you that I'm gonna help you understand a different language, okay? When you come to the positive side, it's a whole different language. Here, I'll speak it. Did you know it's 100% impossible to own equity in a mortgaged house? You can't do that. Nobody can do that. According to the laws of mathematics, nobody in the world could do that, but yet millions of people think they do. That's what they're supposed to think. Whatever. Hey, whatever. Listen, this system is beautiful. You guys don't even get it. Absolute. And I just discovered it. And I'm 53. Never forget that. You come over here, nobody will be able to stop you from making as much money as you wish. You can. You don't got to hide nothing. Money doesn't even exist for debt slaves. Your listen, those that kind of understand, the credit reports are their debt slave papers. That's how you know. That's how you keep track of all the debt slaves. Their social security numbers tied to their credit report, right? And then that's how hey, listen, then you can go see how many owners they have. You keep the debt slaves focused on the credit score, not realizing what they have to do to earn it. They don't know that. You got to stay in debt to earn a credit score. They don't know that. Hey, listen, that's business. I don't care what they do. It's magnificent, to tell you the truth. It doesn't take 30 years to buy one house. Who told you that? The bank? It only takes a day. You just walk in, give them the money, and you leave and say, okay, and then they do all the city, state, fed, whatever. It doesn't take 84 months to buy one car. Who told you that? Your friends? Are your friends with 84-month car loans? Did they tell you that? Did they also tell you got a great deal? Nobody gets a finance car on sale, debt slaves. Nobody. Who told you that? Did you know when you finance a car, the sale price instantly becomes irrelevant? The price of a car is different for each person who finances it, debt slaves. Whose fault is that? That's nobody's fault but your own. You don't trust the calculator. Nobody's doing it to you. You know how many debt slaves out there you guys have student loans older than your mortgage? Are you crazy? And you calling yourself a homeowner? Go up and down your block right now. See how many people have mortgages. They all do. Those people are called the housing market. They have to be there. They can't, listen, people with money don't have to ask the bank permission to buy nothing. Do you guys understand that? Nothing. They just go and buy it. They don't have to ask the bank anything. But if you're a grown up and you have to ask the bank to buy everything, you're a debt slave. That's it. You're just an adult working, six-figure earning, doctor, lawyer, whoever. Doesn't matter who you are. That's okay. Hey, listen, that's okay because you are there by choice. Never forget that part. You guys are there by choice. What's up, Robert? James? I will change your life. When you look at my eyes, do you think I'm making it up or I'm kind of joking? And I'm saying I can prove it. I'm getting tired of even saying that. Hey, believe me. No, it's your choice. Hey, listen, the longer you stay on the negative side, it's totally up to you. But If you ever wake up and come to the positive side, you're going to be very mad at yourself because nobody get extra time. Okay, that the time is ticking. Believe that. Does it look like I'm joking? When I say I could change your life, does it look like I'm joking? I will change your life forever, and you will thank me for the rest of your life. And I'm not, that's nothing to do with ego or nothing. Those are facts. You probably think, well, LJ, how come you're not making multi-millions of dollars? Because there's nobody, I can't copy nobody with this. I haven't found another person that does what I do. Have you? Have you ever seen a channel like mine that can back it up? Listen, that can back it up with a simple calculator. Everything I'm saying, everything. I will do this until I'm dead. And this channel is below my next channel that's coming 6 cents. Oh man, that's going to take you to another. We're going past Mars with that one. This is where I'm going to share with you in detail about the last 6 years of my life that changed my life for the better. Woke me up. Woke me up. Let me see some things I didn't see. See people that exist that you don't know that exist. You could be with a person and not have a clue who they are because you don't know those type of people exist. You're like, there are people out there that will hurt you like that. Yes. And will not think twice about it and will do it. No matter the casual, man, I'm so excited to do that channel. You guys have no idea. I've learned so much. But back to the debt slaves. I titled this video, Debt Slave Abuse. When I see Domino's giving out free pizzas to people in student loan debt, the first thing I think is, okay, why would Domino's do that? Okay, I see they're taking advantage of you debt slaves because there's millions of you guys. Of course, you guys are going to sell out the pizzas. Of course, everybody, they're going to get rid of all the pizzas. That's a guaranteed. Okay, so what else? Advertising, maybe trying to drive more traffic to their store, maybe. Yeah, right. Because you guys are gonna, besides the free pizza, most of you guys are gonna buy additional stuff anyway. You're not just gonna get the pizza, but maybe the information that is, and this is just my opinion, okay? This has nothing to do with Domino's, nothing. I'm just saying something, okay? Which means absolutely nothing, all right? Okay. I don't know what information you had to fill out to prove that you had student loan debt, because I'm assuming you had to write in something to prove that you had student loan debt, because anybody could just say, hey, yeah, I got it, send it to my house. So did you have to fill in your name and your address? Maybe a few scragglers that didn't sign up for the student loan relief money and like, nah, they're just trying to get my information. But you did give it to a pizza delivery company, a pizza company. I don't know, maybe. Because I could promise you this. People that don't have student loan debt, they didn't go get the free pizzas. They didn't. They just said, oh, well, I've got student loan debt, so I'm not even going to try. That's what they do. People with no student loan debt, they don't even pay attention to ads about if you have student loan debt, get a free pizza. They don't even pay attention to that because they don't have student loan debt. Now, the only reason why this is brought to my attention is because to show you how you guys are abused for pizza. And you're not embarrassed? Did you fill out your name and then drive up in your finance car to pick up your free pizza? Did you do that? Making car payments, going to pick up your free pizza because you're in student loan debt. Does that even make any sense? That's called abuse. That's how they abuse you, debt slaves, and you guys deserve it. You probably that person that has student loan debt, doing 1099 work, haven't paid your taxes in 5 years, and then you have student loan debt, and then you sign up to go get a free pizza at Domino's because you're in student loan debt. You know how many of you guys working those 1099 jobs, not paying your taxes, and you have student loan debt? Ooh. When they get a hold of you, because you guys don't listen. When you guys are on the negative side, you guys don't understand the structure. You guys don't get it. You know how many of you guys that haven't paid your taxes in so long, now you're too scared to even do it. And you have student loan debt, and you're picking up your free pizzas, and you're not paying taxes at all. You guys got to be terrified of your mailbox. You have to be terrified of your mailbox. Because the minute you see a letter in there stamped with the IRS, your heart's gonna be pounding and you get vibrating, and it got red letters on it too, listed on the contact us immediately. 75% of you are probably going to pretend like you never saw the letter. Oh, I didn't get it. How they going to prove, these things run through your brain. Oh, how they going to prove that it was me? How they know I was really living here? I could just say it. You guys all say and do the same things. It's not just you. It's millions of you. And if a place gets practice every single day from millions of debt slaves repeatedly doing the same thing, you become perfect. Debt slaves, you don't even know people like me exist. You don't know that I could see you. I'm looking right at you. Who's a debt slave? It doesn't matter what car you drive. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in. It doesn't matter your career, your job, your clothes. I can see you if you're a debt slave. I could just listen to the way you talk about money. That's it. Just a couple words. Hey, how do you invest? Is that your car? That's your house? Oh yeah. Did you got a mortgage? Yeah, that's all. I just need a couple words here and there, and then I know you're a phony. I know you're a debt slave, not phony, debt slave. Now, luckily, I'm not one of the people that are out here going to abuse you. Okay, me consciously, I just can't. Even though it's legal, I just can't personally do it because that's just goes against what I do. I can't. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be able to tell you how to save for retirement while you have student loan debt. I just can't do that. Even though that's business, because listen, there would be no money to be made if they said, hey, by the way, you can't invest if you have student loan debt. Nobody make no money because there's millions of you guys in student loan debt. Can you imagine if they denied mortgages to everybody that has student loan debt? You know what that would do to no, we can't have that. Mortgages for everybody, student loan debt or not. Make it the smallest amount. Hey, we just account 1% of your total, whatever. Hey, whatever. When you come to the realty side, you sell them houses with mortgages. Who cares what they got? Are they approved? The bank's the one that's going to give you the money. Do they check out all the stuff? The bank says approved. That means it's good. They can't get nothing without the bank's approval. So just make sure it's approved. Everything's legal. Everything's good to do. You sell them a house with a mortgage and student loan debt and collections and IRS debt. Who cares? Whatever. If you're in the real estate game, I am not telling you to tell people that they can't buy a house with a mortgage. No, I'm just talking about you. The banks cannot, debt slaves cannot buy a house without the bank's permission. Just understand that. So, of course, I'm not telling you that. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I tell you? You don't tell them that. That's their choice. If they believe they could buy a house with a mortgage, that is a choice. If they think they can mortgage rental property and put a renter in it and start profiting right away, that's a choice. You let them believe that. But either way, just remember the bank bought the rental property and the bank bought their personal house. That means they have to ask the bank for everything. Of course, they have to get mortgages. You got to think about it. When you talk to the average debt slave and you talk about buying a house, 99% of them are not thinking about cash. They're not. They think they can buy a house with a mortgage. That's how it's supposed to be. Say like this. Say like you do have you have mortgage rental properties today. Let's say like this, okay? This is just my opinion. I don't know anything about real estate, nothing. Never been in it, never sold a house, never, ever. Do not take my advice. It's just my opinion. Now, if you have a mortgage rental property right now and you open up the calculator, you put in your mortgage rental payment minus your mortgage rental property and hit enter. You see that large negative number? You cannot profit until the bank gets back all that money you see on the calculator. You don't profit anything until they do that. That's what math says. So with this understanding, say like you do, you say like your mortgage is 2,000 and the rent is 5,000, you're profiting 3. That stays there and stays in there. It never comes out to you ever, ever. It doesn't, none of that profit from the rental guy person you put in there does not come out to you. It stays right there. That will help you pay off your house faster, in my opinion. Long as you understand you don't profit till the bank gets back their money. You can't profit, but you had to go to the bank to buy the house. You think you're going to profit before them? The answer is no. The only people that profit immediately from mortgage rental properties are the people that pay for them in cash. They profit immediately. Now, if you take this understanding and really, yeah, that's right, math, I really don't. You'll pay your rental property off faster from what is called phantom income. In just my opinion, I don't know anything about anything. Never been a finance, nothing. Don't got no degree in anything. I mean, anything in finance. What's up, Andre? Bernard says, when you are debt free, it's almost like every dollar is worth more. It is. It is worth more. You're right. Every decision you make is to protect your debt freedom and time freedom. Debt slaves will never understand that. You are correct, Bernard. They will never understand it. You see how we're just talking out loud like that? They have no idea what we're saying at all. Nothing. Hey, you want to be the next Robert Kiyosaki? Come see me. What about the next Grant Cardone? Come see me. Whoever you're trying to be in whatever field you are, and you don't know capitalism is psychological, and you want to be like or past that or whatever, come see me. I'll show you how to do it. I'll help you do it. And when you get out of you come see me, I'll get you out of the debt matrix. And then when you turn around and look from the positive side, you're gonna be like, LJ, you mean I could have done anything I wanted? But yes. If you are in the listen, if you are in the finance game, taxes, especially taxes, I don't care if you've been in the game for years and you don't know capitalism is psychological and you already have the drive to be the best, come see me. I'll help you be the best. Sure will. I'm not just talking. I can prove it to you. Okay, never forget that. I can prove it. I'm not just talking. I'm probably the only person on the internet that has a video showing you my entire credit report, not just the credit score, everything within it. And you got to ask yourself, why is that? Yeah, why is that? Because it proves that I own myself. All you got to do is not only find another person that will let you see the inside of their credit report, try to find another person's credit report that looks like mine. Go check out the video. Just type in, go to my video catalog, Credit Karma or something like that. Type it out and you find it. Watch the video and be like, wow, he doesn't have any debt. Nope. Aren't you getting tired of getting abused, financially abused and embarrassed? They do it to you guys all the time. Come tax return sales, I get it back when I get my taxes. If you get a large return, you got to ask yourself, how come I'm getting a large return? They're not, when you get a tax return, they're not giving you any money. They're just giving you back because you gave them too much. They're like, hey, here's the extra that you gave us. This is what you're not seeing. Here's the extra back, what you gave us. Here you go. And when you get your tax return and you believe it's a large amount, you got to ask yourself, why do I believe this is a large amount? Then you got to ask yourself, is this the most amount I've seen at one time all year? Say like your return was 3,000 and you're excited about it. You're like, woo, $3,000. You ask yourself, why am I excited about $3,000? Is this the most amount of money I've seen at one time out of the whole year? Where's this money coming from? Where's it coming from? Tax return from what? From you. What? You mean I'm giving them too much during the year? That's what that means. I was a six-figure earner. I didn't figure that out until I got out of debt. You know what's so crazy? This was so crazy about the six-figure earners. Oof. And I'm laughing because I was you. You guys are the deepest in debt. You guys getting bonked over the head. You guys don't even know. You're just happy to, oh, middle class. Middle class of what? Middle class of debt. That's what you got. And you guys can't get out. Most of you guys can't. Well, at least that's what you believe. You guys are up in high tax bracket and triple that in debt. That means you can't lower your tax bracket when you're in debt slaves. You can't do that. Nothing you can do at all. So you guys are in a high tax bracket, which you can't do nothing about because you're deep in debt, paying high interest rate. And here's the people below you trying to be like you, and they don't even realize they're in a better place than you because they're closer to freedom than you. Now, if somebody would have came up to me like that, talking to me just like I'm talking to you right now, would I have believed them? No. I would have been like, what's he talking about? But if he would have proved it to me with math, I would have walked away wondering, you guys are in the man. Listen, when they took this is what you guys don't know, debt slaves. When they talk about economic classes, they're talking about positive economic classes. Okay, that's the part you guys don't know. Positive numbers. Hey, people between this number and this number is considered middle class. Those are people with positive income. You guys are negative class. I guess you guys got classes. I don't really care. Anything in debt, I don't care how you guys are structured, really. I mean, I have to know, but I don't want to know personally. Well, I have to know that too. Well, what I do, I have to know that. You guys are in the Now, those of you, let's let me talk to the people in the lower class, okay? That make less. You guys are probably renting because that's all you can afford, and you think you're getting bonked over the head because rent is high, and the people with mortgages in the middle class are making you feel bad that you're throwing away money on rent. No, that's all wrong. That's all wrong. That's all wrong. They want you to be like them. You guys are closer to freedom than them. All you got to do is get out of debt. Get out of debt. And life won't even be expensive. Your rent won't be that much. You will look at your rent different. Taxes, food, gas, working at the same job but no debt. The people in the middle class, they're trapped. The majority of those people are trapped. They can't get out. I mean, they can. I'm gonna put it this way. If somebody in the middle class came and saw me, they could get out of debt faster than you guys in the lower class. Let's put it that way. Okay. But the people in the middle class would have to sacrifice a lot of stuff to get to where I'm trying to get them to. And a lot of them can't do that because they're so worried about everybody else. Oh, you mean I have to get this kind of car instead of that car? Yes, you got to get the other kind of car. Now, the reason why people don't like doing that, like they think they have to sacrifice something to, I mean, you do have to sacrifice. You got to get a smaller place, get a less cheaper car. There, the reason why people don't like doing that because they don't like what other people think. Oh man, what happened at Mercedes? Why you got a Honda? Oh man, something. But you guys don't understand this. The people that say that, those are debt slaves talking to you. Wonder why you're not driving a Mercedes. Now you're driving a Honda Accord. Why? Oh man, something must be going on. You got to look at that person and say, are you making car payments? If they say yes, you disregard them. You guys need to understand something. I don't hear debt slaves unless I want to hear them. Debt slaves do what's called a lot of slave splaining. They're always slave splaining. Hey, I could take this instead of that. Here's Caleb Hammer. Hey, instead of paying 4%, I'm not going to pay off my student loan debt because this is 4% and I earn in 10 and this and that. You can't not invest while you have student loan debt. The percentages don't mean anything. You cannot invest while having student loan debt. That is 100% mathematically impossible. But yet he believes he can. Debt slave teaching other debt slaves. A debt slave that knows a little bit more than the average debt slaves. That's the difference. They're still debt slaves. I enjoyed this channel until I found out he had student loan debt, talking about he's buying houses. No, you can't. Click unsubscribe. Now it's not even funny. None of the stuff's even funny. Here's a debt slave making jokes on other debt slaves. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're a debt slave too. Unsubscribe. That's entertainment. Okay, this channel's here to change your life. That channel's entertainment. And entertainment goes like this. You got to keep debt. Now Caleb's trapped in that area. He got to keep those debt slaves entertained. You got to keep shape shifting, right? Because debt slaves get bored really, really quick. This right here is forever. I don't have to change anything because math never changes. Math will be here it was here before I was born. It'll be here after I'm dead. The only thing that changes is how debt slaves are treated and done, or how they move you and stuff and make you do stuff. It's easy to see. Listen, it's easy to see the people that understand. It's really not that difficult. All you got to do is look at the tax returns. Tax returns show if you understand how to play. That's how it shows. That's how it proves it. And for the average people that you guys don't know, your credit report proves to me if you own yourself. It doesn't matter if you believe, listen, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not. I don't care what you believe. I'm sharing something with you, and it's mathematically correct. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. It was for me. You mean credit ain't nothing? No, it's a tool. No, I'm not going to say it's nothing. It's just a tool. It's a hammer. Credit is a hammer. Are you going to try to hammer a nail in with your hand? No, you got to get the hammer. Do I want to rent a car without hassle? Use my credit card. Which way is going to be get me in and out of here the fastest? A credit card. Here you go. Boom. Because I'm about time. You try to use your debit, they got to verify the money's in there. Make sure this, forget all that. Forget all that. Forget all that. Credit card. That's the best way anyway. When you understand how money works, why not be behind the barrier of $1 trillion company? Trillions. They make trillions of dollars. By me using my credit card, I'm under their protection. Why not? When people steal the money off your debit card, that's a whole big hassle. You know what I'm saying? Forget all that. Forget all that. Are you getting tired of being abused? I can only imagine. This is just the start. Domino's just started it off. Domino's just started it off. There's going to be other companies with student loan debt sales or some kind of something. Because Caleb is in debt, he has to keep doing what he is doing and keep their attention. He talks about how he doesn't like being out in public on YouTube. Interesting. How he doesn't like being out in public. You know, a couple times I've heard him say, I could pay off my student loan debt anytime I want. Then why don't you? See, I always think twice. When you understand how it works, you listen to people differently. Oh, I got the money. Then why don't you? Why don't you just pay it off then? Now, remember, I want you guys to also understand this. There is a psychological piece to it all too. I want you guys to clearly understand this. When there are some people out there that actually do have the money to pay off. Say like this is you. Say like this is you, because there are some people out there. Say like this is you. You have the money to pay off your student loan debt now. Right now. Okay. It's in and say like your student loan debt is $50,000 and you have $60,000 saved in the bank right now. Okay. Say like that. So you could pay yours off today. Now, if you open up the calculator and put in 60,000 minus 50,000, that leaves $10,000. What you don't understand is this. That is what you have right now as we speak. You really have only $10,000 in your savings account. The only reason why you don't believe it's a psychological thing. Math is telling you, if you 60,000 minus 50,000 leaves 10. Math is telling you that you have $10,000 in your savings account. Now, this is the door that exits the debt matrix. You can believe that you have $10,000 in your savings right now and just pay it off, because you'll have to. If you take the money right now, if you believe the calculator right now, I have $10,000. You paid off the student loan debt. The calculator says you have $10,000. The calculator wouldn't even change. It would still show 10,000, but this time it's for real. That's the trick. If you want to get out of the debt matrix, believe that you only have 10,000. But if you want to stay in the debt matrix, believe that you have 60,000 in the bank. It's totally up to you. Even though the calculator is telling you you don't have $60,000 in your savings account. That's what the calculator says. That might be Caleb's. It might be a okay, put it this way. I truly believe he has the money to pay off his student loan debt. I ain't even gonna front. I believe he does. But his brain is telling him that's a large chunk out of my money that's saved somewhere, that he believes is saved somewhere. It's not there. He showed us how much student loan debt he has. So whatever that amount is that he has saved somewhere, which we do not need to know, all we need to know, it's minus that amount that we're seeing right now. So if he showed us $40,000 in student loan debt, I'm just guessing, I don't know what it is, say like it was 40,000. Whatever money he has saved and whatever bank accounts or whatever, it's minus $40,000, regardless if he pays it off or not. But his savings is getting less and less each time this student loan debt earns interest. The savings amount gets less. What's up, Omanike? If Caleb had no debt, he could stop and do whatever he wanted to do. That's true. He could. He sounds like he's getting in a lot of business debt to me. He sounds like he's getting in a lot of business. Oh, I just bought this place over here. I just bought this place. That means he's not paying for those. If he put it this way, so you guys can understand the language. If he hasn't paid off his student loan debt and he's talking about buying houses, those are mortgages. Automatically, if you hear him talking about buying places, he is talking about mortgages. How do I know this? Because he has student loan debt. He told us you can't buy a house with student loan debt in cash. You can't do that. If you have student loan debt, that means you don't, by default, says you don't have the money to buy a house in cash, because if you did, you wouldn't have student loan debt. See how when you understand how it works, you listen very differently, very differently. So when you hear him say buy, he means mortgage, financing. Debt slaves always use the word buy when they're talking about getting a house with a mortgage. They don't know that they're using the word buy. Buy equals cash. They are talking about financing. When you hear a person say, "Oh yeah, man, I got a mortgage because my mortgage payment is cheaper than the rent. The rents are like triple that or double that." A mortgage is debt. Rent is an expense. There is no comparison, debt slaves. When you hear a person compare rent versus mortgage, that should tell you they're a debt slave. What are you doing making those two comparisons? One has nothing. They're not even the same. There is no comparison. One is rent to a landlord, which is an expense. One is rent to the mortgage, to the bank, which is they own. This person's $300,000-$400,000 in debt. This person is not. This person is just paying rent. This person is paying a lower mortgage, but $300,000, $400,000 in debt for the privilege of it. Are you crazy? Only debt slaves think like that. So whenever you hear somebody say, hey, man, stop throwing away money on rent, you turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? And then when they say yes, then you understand why they're saying that. They want you to be like them. Stop throwing away money on rent. I'm not throwing away money on rent. I get a service. You know, you got to really listen to people when they say that. Stop throwing away money on rent. Like, you're not even getting a service. You got a place to live. Anything breaks, you just pick up, call. Hey, come fix it. Click. Hey, the refrigerator is broke. Okay, we got a new one coming. Click. The sink's broke. We got a plumber coming up and fix. Click. That's not free. That's a service. No different than getting a Netflix subscription. That's a service. That's true. They are afraid. What's up, Mingoism? What's up, Lottery Guru? LJ, did you hear about the gurus in the rental car business who took out loans are now in trouble? The companies are now taking the LJ, did you hear about these gurus in the rental car business? No, what does that mean? They took out loans. What's that mean? Rental business took out loans. I'm not sure what that means when you say that. What do you mean took out loans? What's that mean? Me too. I have no problem renting at all. None. Tell them thank you for their contribution. And see, when you come to the positive side, so you guys can understand what that means, you'll be saying what Andre's saying. Nobody owns the system. You come over here and participate positively. Over here, you don't be complaining about, oh man, these taxes sure are high. You'd stay away from those kind of people. That means they don't understand. Next time you hear somebody complain about gas prices, you turn to them and say, do you have a car payment? And when they tell you yes, now you understand why gas seems high to them. They got car payments. If they finance the car, they have to finance the gas. If they don't have the money for the car, of course they're not going to have the money for the gas or the electricity. For you finance electric Tesla owners, and you guys are making payments, you're financing the recharge of the car. You didn't have the money to buy. It doesn't matter if it's electric. You just went from financing. If you had regular gas car payments, the only thing you did was went from financing gas to financing electricity. And now you added in your personal time. Because before, when you had a finance car, you would pull up to the gas station, put the nozzle in, and be in and out of there like 5-6 minutes. Put your credit card in, finance the gas, you out of there in 5, 6, 7 minutes, out of there, boom, click. But now you have to pull up, sit there, put your credit card in there, and stay for 30 minutes, maybe longer than that. You know what's so crazy, you debt slaves? You guys be making videos about that shit. You guys be making, oh man, I was here at the charger for like 40 minutes, and you made a video about it. You notice they make videos about their payments. These electric car owners, financed electric car owners, make videos about the money they're saving and how much they're listen, if you have a finance car, I want you to do this, okay? A financed electric car, open up the calculator, put in your car payment minus your car balance and hit equal. You see that large negative number? You don't save anything until the bank gets back all that money first. Do you understand? You don't save nothing at all, anything, until the bank gets back all that money first. Don't be driving by the gas station looking at oh my God, it's $5 a gallon. So what are you looking there for? Debt slave? You're financing electricity, and you're wasting and you're wasting the most valuable thing on earth is the time in your life. And you're sitting there wasting it for 30 minutes looking at your phone. Can't do nothing because you got to wait for that. You got to wait. You can never get back that 30, 40 minutes you lost there. That's gone forever. And you was at an electric charging station, debt slave, because you financed the electric car. Are you crazy? People with money, we don't do stuff like that. If I get an electric car, guess where the supercharger is going to be? In my house. People that can buy Teslas in cash, they probably can afford to put a supercharger in their house. If I couldn't, I'd be like, I'm not buying one then. Nope. I'm not waiting in no line. I'm not doing any of that. Because most of you guys do that. If you live in a place like California or something, you got to wait in line to get to the supercharger station. So wait your time in line. You're there for an hour. An hour you can't get back. Gone. Out loud in public. Making videos. Oh man, I used to have this truck, it was spent, they had this high gas, man. It was just God, then I just financed this Tesla, and now I'm that's called debt slave abuse, debt slaves. When you're waiting in line 30 minutes to get to a charging station in your financed Tesla, 30 minutes. And then you get to the charger station and you can't be the next to the next one because it slows down the charging. And this, oh my God, debt slaves. That's abuse. You think people with money would ever tolerate that? Hell no. It's about time. Do you understand me? Time. Usually the things that's going to save you time cost a little bit more money, but it's worth every penny of it. I'm the person that people that are serious, that want to just get straight to the top quickly, you come see me. I'll just give you the blueprint. This is how you do it. I help you own the business of yourself. What's that mean? Come here, I'll show you. Of course, you got to pay me for it, but I know what I'm doing because I've done it and I'm still doing it. You guys don't even understand. The last 6 years of my life, I did that under horrible conditions. And I was successful. Put out over 2,000 videos under pressure in an environment that was hostile. In an environment that was designed to keep me down. But I didn't let it because I'm not that person. And God knew it. I've always had a person like that inside of me. When things get down and down, I'm starting feeling down on myself. There's always this person inside of me that stops and says, this is where that nonsense stops. Picks me up, picks my emotional self up, puts them to the side and said, I'll take over from here. We'll get back to you. This is what we need to do. We do this, 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 and this. I don't care how much you're crying. And voila, and now I'm here. Bigger than the person I was before the 6 years. You guys understand me? Way more knowledge of many things. Business and a channel. Debt slaves don't even know. That's like, for example, debt slaves they don't know. We can see them. SMD family members, you guys already know this. We can see debt slaves, they can't see us. Now, if you want to pull down your mask in public, that's totally up to you. I wouldn't recommend it. Now, when you're brand new to SMD, that's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to run to your family. Oh, check this out. Look what I found out. I saw this guy on SMD. He says, do this and that. Then they're going to look at you like you're crazy. What are you talking about? That's stupid. Credit's everything. And then you know what you're going to say to yourself? LJ said they was going to say that. He said they wasn't going to believe me. But I said, no, my family loves me. They'll trust me. They'll believe it. No, it has nothing to do with your family, love, where you grew up, what part of the country you're from. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. Nothing. Here, let me give you an example. If you had a blindfold on and you heard a person on the mic says, 1 + 1 = 2. And then they said, what color person said that? Who said that? Was they black, white, Chinese, Russian? What were they? You'd be like, what? What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. Absolutely. It's the same thing. Millions of people, all races and colors, have mortgages and they believe they're homeowners. It doesn't matter what they believe. So what? So? What you got, so crazy. This is what I see now. When you don't understand capitalism and psychological, now that I understand, and then I look at all the people from other countries that come to our country now that didn't have a credit system where they came from. So all they knew was money, buy, money, buy, money, buy. And then they come to this country and then they hear about credit and then they're like, what is that? What's credit? Like, think about it. You come from a country where there is no credit and you come here and they say, hey, this is credit. They say, what is that? Well, we give you money, but we charge you for it. They're like, what? So we pay more? Pay more for than paying cash? Yes. No. The majority of these people coming from other countries, because I don't even want to specify because it doesn't matter. You guys know most of those guys own their cars. They own their houses. You guys will drive by and say, oh man, look, they got their whole family in there, packed in there, this and that. They own the house. All of them work together, stack enough money, and then they buy another one. Buy another one. They understand that it doesn't take as much money as you guys believe, debt slaves. They already know that because they didn't come from it. They know that is the dumbest thing in the world to do. Dumb. Do you know how much money you save if you owned your house? There is no better investment than that. Nothing. Your living expense is your largest monthly expense. What would life be like if you eliminated that? While millions of people are fighting over rent and mortgage, that will no longer be your problem at all. No discussion. You won't even talk about it. Whatever. This is what I help you do and understand. You will thank me for the rest of your life. This channel it doesn't stop here though. My next channel goes to the next perspective that I couldn't have learned unless I was put in it first. I had to be put in it. I consider that my cocoon. When you're in it, You know something's wrong until you change it. And then you're like, oh, damn. The reason why I didn't know, because that's not my world. That's not my world. Now I know that that world exists because I know the signs. I know the questions to ask now. I know what to hear. I know what to listen for. It answered this answered a lot of my questions about my past relationships. It really does. It really just points back to me. Oh, that's what I didn't see. People do that. Yes, people do that. It's so simple. Like, here, let me give you a quick example. I'm gonna give you a quick example. There are people out there in relationships with a partner that will cheat on them while saying that they love them at the same time. Did you know that there are people like that? A lot of you guys already know because you're in that relationship where the same person that cheated on you tell you that they love you. You are living in what's called Narc's world, where people do that to the people they love. They cheat on the people they love, and they think that's normal. That's called Narc's world. That is a perspective of the world. You don't have to live in that world. You don't. That's a perspective. I know social media and TV shows will make you believe that every woman is this way, every man is this way. That is a perspective because that's not true. There are people that don't do that to the people they love while they're in relationships. How do I know this? Because that was me. I was that person with this person. So I know it exists because it was me. I'm not the only one on earth that thinks the way I do. Of course not. That's the next level of sixth sense. Look, first folks got to understand what debt free means. You're right. Omanike means they make up their own definition. You know what's so funny? You are right. Every time I hear, you might ask, are you debt free? Oh yeah, I'm debt free. I just gotta, I gotta just pay off the rest of this car and then I'm good. Then you're not debt free. The majority of people with mortgages, if you ask them, hey, are you debt free? Oh yeah, everything except the mortgage, then you're not debt free. You are in debt. You know, debt slaves don't look at mortgages. They don't look at it as debt. They think they think their mortgage is an asset. And the reason why I'm just looking like that, because that was me. That was me. When you're renting and you got these people constantly, stop throwing away money on rent. Stop that. They say it enough, you're gonna believe that you are throwing away money on rent. They're gonna make you believe that you really are making the landlord rich. That's a program, people. Anybody that says that to you, you ask them, do you have a mortgage? If they say yes, that's why they're saying that. They're running the program. That helps get other debt slaves to get mortgages. You're never going to have a person that owns their house to come up to you and tell you to get a mortgage. Why would they tell you that? Tell you they buy their house in cash, but tell you to get a mortgage. They wouldn't do that. There is no short. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts for sure. Yeah, it was Omanika. It was everybody. You tired of this being you? When you own yourself, it doesn't stop here. It changes your whole life. Dating life. You won't listen. If you're one of those, especially in that younger generation, oh, how am I going to date? The only way to do it is apps, and they can trick and this and that, and trick the pictures and do all. Yeah, that all of that is true. But when you free yourself, your whole outlook on dating will be totally different. First, when you own you, put it this way: say like you're in debt now. It's really hard for you to understand this, but when you get out of debt and when you do the work that it takes and the sacrifice it takes to get out of debt, guess what? You're not going to date anybody that is in debt. Oh, hummingbird. That's pretty cute. You're not going to date anybody in debt, especially the ones that refuse to even see that they're in debt or don't really care. That's going to eliminate like 95% of your prospects anyway, because the majority of people are going to be in debt. Because it doesn't really, you're going to save yourself so much time, money, headache, breakups, arguments. You're going to save yourself so much time. Because they already say right now, hey, over 50% of divorces end because of money. No, they end because of debt. That tells you right there. If you don't date people in debt, you don't procreate with people in debt, you don't have sex with people. I mean, you can take a chance. I don't think any protection is 100% guaranteed, any of it. And if you accidentally have a child with a debt slave and you're free, now you're locked into the debt matrix with the state and the woman or the man. Now you're locked in. Now you can't go nowhere. Now you got the state dictating your money and telling you what you can pay and what you can't pay and what you're going to do. You don't want that. Being in that whole system myself, now when I think back, I caused myself to be in there. Now I understand it, okay? Because I didn't have to be part of it. I just had nobody to teach me the right way. Hey, don't be going out there just having kids and just not really thinking. Nobody was there to just teach me that. He said, I'm glad those reproduction days are gone from me. I heard that. Oh, I've been took care of that, man. I've been took care of that. And I took care of that about like age. I was like age 29. I had 3 boys. Before the age of 30, I had 3 boys. So I was like, nah, okay, I got to make sure this is not going to keep happening. Any questions? All right, I'll be saying this every now and then. I'm so excited to start the new channel. I keep saying January 1st, man. I'm trying to hold out. But I got so much more to talk about over there compared to here anymore. Every time in the news, I was just thinking, what's the next abusive thing people are going to do to debt slaves? What are they going to do? Free hamburgers? You guys going to get free hamburgers? Hey, if you're in debt, if you're worried about this paying your student loan debt, come by here and get a free hamburger, free piece of chicken. If you're one of the people that went out and got the free pizza, say, I'm talking to you, okay? Now, when you hear more ads, which there will be more ads. I want you to start thinking about that, okay? Should I go do that? Should I go get that free, whatever they're asking? What are they asking for? Because I don't know. Does somebody know? What information do they ask? Like for the Domino's thing, right? What information are they asking to get a free pizza? I'm curious. your full name, address. A lot of people want it delivered anyway. Maybe they knew that was an automatic. People don't like, people too lazy to come pick it up anyway. Maybe they give their home address or where they're at. There's always more. There's always more. Listen, anything to do with free, you guys are all over. You guys will, hey, take off $20,000. Just give us all your information. Okay. This is where I'm at. This is where I work. This is where I've been working for the last 5 years. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, because we didn't know any of that. Thank you, because we've been looking for you for a long time. It's like, sometimes I wonder, a person that makes, let's say like you make $1 million a year, and you come across my channel and you've never heard anybody speak the way I speak about capitalism, right? What does a person like that think? Do they think, I've heard of that, but I've never heard it spoken that way? Or do they think it's BS? Or what? I wonder. I really do wonder. I see Mingoism trying to come in here, but he's not, device not connected quite yet, Mingo. I see you trying, but I don't see it connecting quite yet. I wonder where they're sending that information. Me too. I wonder where they're sending that information. Or was, hey, listen, Andre, or was all that already planned out? Because that's probably already planned out. Everything. Okay, we're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're going to, okay, require the information, to verify whatever. What's up, Mingoism? Can you hear me okay? You there? Uh-oh. Can you hear it? There you go. There you go. There you go.
I can't hear you. I wonder, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Testing. I'm going to mute you and unmute you. Can you hear me? Testing.
Having trouble with my mic.
Well, I can hear you.
Audio.
I can hear you. All right, you're going to come back. I wonder where they're sending that information. Well, all I can say is this. I can't really explain to even the S&B family how much my life has become better. It's like it just exploded into a whole different, it's crazy to not know, to see, no, I'm gonna put it a different way, to see what I achieved under the most horrible of conditions, and I still prospered, right? So now, and that's my brain being constantly filled with cortisol and adrenaline all the time. Now, I know you guys don't know that what, after being exposed to that for years of cortisol and adrenaline over, up and down, mixed with the good drug, I forgot the good natural drug in your mind, mixed all that up, down, up and down, your body actually gets addicted to it. And it really just changes the whole chemical structure of your whole entire body. But anyway, to be able to prosper being under the influence of such a powerful natural drug due to not dopamine. Thank you, Andre. Dopamine, not to due to my own fault. And the dopamine was on a slow drip. That's what's crazy about it. It was on a very slow drip, just every now and then. Just enough. It's crazy. And when you end something like that, you're so focused. If you put it this way, if you've never experienced a relationship with a narcissist, right? You can't really explain it to the average person because they think, oh, it's just a breakup. You want to just leave and it's not. Yeah, it's that, but it's like 20 times that. And if you are strong enough to escape, like I did, I escaped. Believe that, I escaped. You realize, and you get out, and then once you start getting the information and you see it with your own eyes and you see the traits and all the stuff, you'll be like, oh my God. That's not just her? Nope. Millions of people are like that. Millions. It just blows. But I'm a researcher. It just opens your mind. Makes you more powerful. You're like, oh, now you can see them. Yes, they all do the same things. They do the same thing. And what are the same things? Usually the exact opposite of reality. No self-accountability, no self-reflection while saying they love you. Cheating while saying they love you. Lying while saying they love you. Physical abuse while saying they love you. That's a disorder. That's the opposite of reality. But when you're in it, you're like, wait a minute, this is wrong. Yeah, it's all wrong, but you don't know because you're in Narc's world. Then when you get out, you're like, ooh, I can do something with this. That's me. People that are able to escape. Because some people don't. Can you believe that? Some people don't escape. You're probably thinking, well, who are those people? I can point those people out to you. Have you ever been out in the crowd and in public and you see a married couple where one of the spouses or whatever disrespect the other one in public in front of everybody? That's one right there. I'm going to point out the obvious ones. Well, they'll disrespect their partner in front of other people and not think twice about it. That's one right there. That's the most horrible kind, because if they do that in front of you guys have no idea what happens behind the scenes. That's how you know. Today, I can see narcissists. I can see them. How do I see them? I look right at them. And you don't look away when they start jip-yapping. Start saying things in public, trying to be loud, embarrass somebody, or something. I'm going to stare right at them. I can see you. Oh, you can embarrass me? I'm going to embarrass you back right in front of everybody. Because they're really cowards and weaklings. They're so fragile. Ooh. I don't mean to get off on this, but I'm excited to do it. The one I was with, ooh, she was so insecure. It was pathetic, really. It's like, damn, you got to pick yourself up somehow. I can't keep carrying you. They're so fragile. Let's try this again, Mingoism. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Good. We're good. I can hear you.
How you doing today, LJ?
I'm doing good, sir. And yourself?
Doing great. Listen to you from the get-go from O'Shea really changed me and my wife's life. We had talked a while back, still here in Brooklyn, New York. You know, we definitely debt free. You know, I paid off those 3 loans, and we stepped it up. I started in 2018. I told her, before we was even married, that we're gonna help each other to get out of debt, and we're gonna start putting money away. So I started putting an envelope with dollar bills in it, $5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. And we see how that accumulate, and each year it got bigger and bigger. We got married in 2020, COVID.
Okay.
But that was right on time because we needed each other. Her mother passed away from cancer last year, so at least she got a chance to see us get married and everything. All 3 of those loans got paid off. I started saving very aggressively. Doing a little bit of overtime here and there. Now I'm at the point I don't need overtime.
Congratulations.
Yeah, start making techniques, man. Just started thinking and using, math, which I think in school we was gypped. Because that's all you need was the 4
basics. How were we
gypped?
Tell me this. Before you say that, how were we gypped? I'm curious.
We wasn't just taught just simple add, subtract, multiply, divide. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
You don't.
They
you don't need
but they taught us that in elementary school, though. Okay.
The other stuff you don't need unless you're going to be a scientist or something.
Right.
You're
right.
Just got very serious with her because I just turned 61.
Okay, congratulations.
We got married on my birthday. Being debt free allowed us to travel to Vegas.
Nice.
The second time, we celebrate our wedding and pre-honeymoon. Because we're supposed to go to Hawaii, but there's a lot of things going on.
Okay.
But we celebrate my birthday and our anniversary of being married for 3 years. And being debt free, that allowed us because we stayed at hotels where the regular average Joe, oh man, that's too expensive.
Right.
Right. Then we came back home to Brooklyn. The next day, took a flight out because we fly in first class now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
No more coach. More coach.
All right.
We stay at the Trump Tower in Chicago.
Okay.
It just feel good because I respect money and we use it as a tool. And whenever we can help somebody out that's less fortunate, we do, and we get blessings tenfold back.
Yes.
And that's the first I told my wife. It's going to multiply.
Yes.
Just like I was telling you earlier, through the chats. It was last year. I told her, let's pay the whole rent off for a whole year.
Oh, okay.
Let's sit down with AT&T and Verizon and say, listen, we want to pay this whole thing off for a whole year. Now AT&T tried to give us some nonsense, and I threatened them. I said, listen, well, I'll take my service somewhere else if you can't do that for me. And they changed it around. So we paid all our bills off in the whole year. Now this year coming, it's going to be 2 years.
Oh,
we're going to shoot for that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, and that's thanks to you. I watched a little bit of Dave Ramsey, but a lot of the things that you said, it made a lot of sense. Made my life easy. Just being a 61-year-old.
Taking all that stuff off your brain. I try to explain that to people that it takes so much stuff off your mind. That month to month training that we had most of our lives, right? That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I try to put some family on. Just some people you got leave them behind and everything. But I do have some young people that I talk to, and I put them on. They came back and said, "Yo, you right about the credit card?" Because I told them, I said, "Listen, if you can't pay it off in a year, try a month. Pay them an extra month." I said, "Yo, make it fun. Have fun doing it. Make it 3 months. Then make it 6 months. That's half a year. then 9, then 12. Then you know it's the whole year.
Right.
And at the same time, you saving your money up. I said, have fun doing it. And I said, you'll be amazed how much money you accumulate.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's amazing. No stress. You know, no stress at all.
No
And you know,
stress.
we both happy. We both work together. No oil and water. But you know,
Let me ask you something, man. How is that? How is that for your relationship, man? Because you know, you got to understand, not many people are in a relationship with that no stress. Tell me how that is, because I don't know yet.
it's a wonderful thing.
Mhm.
When you and your wife or girlfriend, whatever,
Right.
you're both water instead of oil and water. And I always tell my wife, you
I
can't
like
be
that.
oil and water. We
I
got to
like
be
that.
oil together, or
I
we're
like
gonna have to
that.
be water together.
I
Because
like
once you have oil and water, which we know scientifically it doesn't mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we work together, and you know, I started this thing off. You know, like I said, 2018 was a brainchild of mine, and I just kept on thinking. I said, you know what? Lionel's right. Math is my friend.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Yeah.
You know, in school, we was afraid of it and everything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the hypotenuse, 25 to the fifth power and all that stuff, the
Right.
fractions. You
Right.
know, I
All
was
that.
definitely terrified of math. But my uncle told me, he said, you love science, though. I said, yeah. He said, science is math. I couldn't
Yeah.
see it at that young age,
Right. Right. Right.
but now I see it. So,
Right.
you know, we very happy. We're healthy. You know,
Wow.
the only thing I'm waiting for now is trying to get myself together
Okay.
so I could leave this job next year.
All right.
You know, and I'm just telling some of the young people that I talked to. The young guy, he said, "Yo, this is working out, and I'm paying my cards off." And I said, "That's what you got to do is keep up." And I said, "If you want to do an extra bonus, pay him a little extra." You know, me and my wife, we be paying them like the credit cards. We be paying them like $500 to $2,000 overpayment. So when you go use that card, you already the money is already there, and we don't wait till they send us a statement. We write checks off because we got the capital.
Well, this is a recommendation. Don't
Uh,
overpay your credit card, man. Don't give them no free money. That's free money.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
because they get interest off that money when you can make interest off that money. Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to learn about a little about stocks
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. Earlier this year, my tax preparer, you know, he owned a couple of homes and everything. He's a CPA. He said, with you and your wife's credit being good, you know, man, y'all can get a house. Y'all can easily get a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, the only way I'm getting a house is straight up cash. He said, no, that's not the way because of the tax. I said, listen, you told me you have a couple of houses, right? Yeah. Did you buy them with straight up cash? He said, no, I got a mortgage. He said, you got the people stay up in there and they pay the mortgage. And I said, well, what happens when one of them gets sick? Now, if I take your advice and I get a mortgage and the cancer come back up in my body, I'm in trouble, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I told him, nah, no way. And he said, I understand. He laughed, he understand. And he said, yeah, I gotta get back like that, you know, where you at. So, you know, even though he make a lot of money, you know, more than me, I got
He
the
know
freedom.
he know he's in debt. Yeah, he knows you're free. That's why he said get back where you at. That's what that means.
Yeah, even my wife, financial planner that came and visit us at the home and everything. And I was telling him some things, and he had to do a double take. And I told my wife, I said, "Yo, did you see his face? You could tell he's in debt." I said, "Now you could tell who's in debt by the reaction and by the way they talk." Why
Yeah,
even ask him?
yeah. You said, did you see his face? Did she see it?
Yeah,
Or were you
yeah,
didn't
she
see it?
seen it.
Oh,
She
she
seen
seen
it.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because he
Yeah.
told me, he said, "Man, you should be teaching this stuff."
That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. And I even try to explain that to people. What you see and hear is totally different. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you come up to a tax preparer or financial plan, you're not intimidated at all because you got
Yes.
to wait to see if they're in debt or not.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yep.
intimidation. No intimidation at all.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean if the financial planner or tax person's in debt, you just trying to determine if they know if they're good at their job.
Yes.
But do I prefer zero personal debt tax preparer or whatever? That would be ideal, but that's going to be a needle in a haystack, though.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
As somebody doing your taxes and they're not personally debt free. They clearly don't understand.
Yeah, because man, this thing feels very, very good. You can't go back. You cannot go back. I wouldn't allow myself to go back because I remember working those graveyard shift, working jobs that y'all can't stand each other. The supervisor standing over you, and they know you're in debt, so they're gonna treat you like poop. You know?
Yeah, you're right,
Yeah,
man.
man.
You're right. I try to tell people that, man. Mingo, I try to tell them that. They don't. What do you mean? What you mean you don't have to take what they say? You just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I noticed something on my job when I was telling my wife. Since this been happening, I've been getting less assignments. A lot of time on standby. So I said, they have to know that who's in debt and who's not in debt. Because I'm a train mechanic.
Because you're not begging for overtime. That's why. The people begging for overtime are obviously in debt.
Yeah, I turn it down. But Dad, you hardly doing no overtime. And I said, well, I don't have no debt.
Co-workers be saying that? Your co-workers saying that?
Yeah. Even the union rep, even the managers and everything, you know. I just said, no, I don't have no debt. But you're right. If you want to keep your friends and family,
right.
You can't let the cat out of the bag because they'll change on you. I don't have people change on you. So it's just starting with family.
Sure will. You're right. You gotta be quiet. You can't talk. You gotta act like you in debt or pretend it. Oh yeah, man. Taxes are high. Yeah, my payments, whatever. However you gonna do it, you gotta mask it or something. Or just stay away from them.
That's what I do. I just stay away from because I have a lot of users in my family. I said, listen, I done gave you the tools. You don't want to use them. That's on you. You know, don't get mad at me. Oh, he putting up pictures on Facebook. They traveling first class and they hang out this hotel and stuff and everything. I'm enjoying my life, brother.
You can't. They get mad because you enjoying your life. Ain't that crazy? Oh,
yeah. You always traveling.
You're not allowed to show pictures of it either. They mad about
that. Yeah. You know, Dad, you've been to Hawaii, you've been to South Africa, you've been to Egypt, touching the pyramids. You know, where else you gonna go?
And they mad.
Yeah, and I'm also doing this for the family members that passed away, that never left this country or never been to Vegas and stuff like that. Because my mother worked till she died at age 68, cancer. So I told my wife, each generation has to change this.
That's what I'm here to do. You see what you said?
Yes.
That's what I'm really here to do.
Yes.
That's what I'm really here to do. But they can't, even when you say that, they can't hear you.
Yeah,
they can't hear you. They think, who he think he is, talking to this guy. He can you know that they can't hear you. It's messed up.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's really hurtful when I could hear it in your voice when the way you talked about your mom, because you know she never got to experience what you're experiencing right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's hurtful. It's like, oh, you missed this.
Yeah. You know, so I'm focusing on my little nieces and nephews because I send your videos around to family and friends all on Facebook. Okay. You know, so I have some, you know, I've been doing that ever since you came on, and that time I said, yo, you stop putting anything away. My nephew talk about, well, next year. I said, next year means you ain't gonna do it. The time is now. Put $1 away. Put $1 away.
Yeah.
You know, I had to stop. I said, okay, I don't put the twos there. I don't put all line those videos. Yeah. You don't watch it. That's on you, bro.
It's on you. I know they can hear the way you speak. I know they can hear you sound different. I can hear the way you speak is different. So I know they can hear it.
Oh, yes.
But family, you got no family members that jumped on, nobody.
No. Only people, we got a sister that been with us for a while. She see the change because she started to make some changes and she's sticking close to us. there's two brothers on my job. They're young, especially the young one. You know, he said, "Man, I don't know if I can get out." I said, "Listen, don't say that, because I thought the same thing." I said, "You talking to a man that's work 2 full-time jobs, work 7 days a week. You can do it. It just take work." And I said, "I want you to have fun doing it. While it hurts, have fun doing it. You'll get there."
Paying off debt is part of the journey. You got to feel that pain, so you know there is no going back. You know, you're like, that's not even an option. When people hear us say that, they don't really understand what we mean by that. They're like, "Oh man, you know, anything can happen, man." No, it will take a catastrophe of something. I would have to have a paid off house, and I didn't have insurance, and it burned down. That's the only probably way. And I'm 75. You know?
Yeah, my old landlord, I left. He retired from the cooking in schools, and I told him, I said, "Listen, you finished paying off your house at age 73?" He said, "No, I'm still paying." And I looked at him, you know, like, damn. That's, you know, you get sick, or I see him had trouble with tenants, man. I see him had trouble with tenants. That's a bad. You're vulnerable.
Yes. Yep. Damn.
You know, 70. So yeah, man. You know, I'm living my life because it's not guaranteed. And this apartment complex I live in, there's a lot of old people here. They're not traveling. You should be traveling in your golden age. They just sit here and have a nurse and then die.
Wait to die. Yeah. Because we've been programmed to think that retirement is an age. Think about it, Mingo. We've been programmed to think it was an age. It's never been an age. It's whatever age you choose.
That's what I was telling some of the young guys, you know, that I work with, you know, said, "Dad," I said, "not if you get busy. You could pay off your debt, get into investment, start a small business, still have your job on the side, you know, but you accumulate and watch your money, because it's just a tool. That's all the money is, a tool."
That's all.
And it blew my mind when I took your advice and looked up how much it takes to make these dollar bills. It's a mind blower.
It's a mind blower. You're right. You show the average person that, hey, look how much it costs. I showed that to a friend of mine. I said, "What do you think about this?" They didn't have. First of all, there is no answer, right?
Yeah.
But they make up one. "Oh, you know, what about the printing costs and do this and that?" It says right here how much you print, the cost. It doesn't really matter. It's only pennies.
Yeah.
But it's worth $100 to you. What's that? They don't understand it because they're in the psychological.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
you know,
man. But you could just, I can hear by the way you talk. I can hear. I can only imagine. I bet you people can see it in your marriage. They got to be able to see it. They got to be able to see something. Well, put it this way: the energy that probably is even coming off of you guys is radiating everywhere. You know.
Yeah, we hold hands, because the stewards, when we was headed to Chicago, and we sitting in the front before everybody. She said, "Wow, look at here, y'all holding hands." Yep. I said, "Yeah, we gotta be right to smile."
Yes. See what I'm saying? They can see that holding hand. That's not even a big deal. That's just regular, right?
Yeah.
But to the average person, that's like, "Oh shit, we don't see that no more." I know you don't.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow. That's congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, but I want to say something important that I'm gonna jump off.
Yeah, no problem.
Me and my wife, we praying for you, brother. You know, we see that you came out of a bad relationship. We felt bad about it, but that's right. There's bigger things ahead that the Creator had for you and everything. You know, and this coming from a 61-year-old man. You know, we're gonna keep you in prayer and everything. This brand new adventure that's coming January 1st. Everybody, I can say, stay tuned.
Thank you, man. I much appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. I'm gonna jump off, brother. Bye-bye.
All right. See you later.
All right.
See, that is what things like that is what keeps me going. Because those that follow me, you know, I've been me since day one. There's not going to be years from now, it's going to be some scandal or something I lied about or something. That's never going to happen, ever, because there is nothing. I think I've shared almost everything. The last 6 years, I couldn't share it about it because I was in it. That was, listen, that was horrible. But what you guys didn't understand is that I still prospered. It created a better me. That's the old me. That was the cocoon of me. The me today would never ever tolerate any of that ever. None of that. Not even close. But in order for me to be here, I had to learn that. God knew I was strong enough to get out of that. He knew I was going to be like, oh, that's enough, leaving. And I left her. No contact. Bam. That's enough. And then once I always tell you guys this, fears, false evidence appearing real psychologically. The bigger the fear, the bigger the reward. Always remember that. Fears are psychological. This was the biggest fear in my life because I believed a certain thing, where I lived, what I created, blockety blah. Like Eckhart Tolle told me once, attachment. Once I released all that stuff, I was like, I gotta save myself. I cut it off. Everything changed. Everything changed. The best thing I could have ever done in my life, the best thing ever. Because years of cortisol and adrenaline, up and down, your body's not made to do that at all. It's not. You might get in a scary situation, fight or flight. It's like it builds up all its energy so you can run or fight, right? You get all this stuff. Well, that was every day, just up and down for absolutely no reason, because your body's not made for that. It breaks it down, believe it or not. Just starts cutting it down, start having problems, start hurting, skin start getting bad. What's going on? High blood pressure. The person. But if you can make it through that, if you can survive, if you can get out, no contact, you will thank yourself for the rest of your life. I thank you for all the prayers for people that prayed for me. I very much appreciate it. Very much so. When you guys see me do it, this should be encouragement for you. What's up, Dennis? Can you hear me okay?
LJ, what's up? I'm so sorry I caught it on the late, man. Oh,
That's all right.
God.
What's going on, sir? That's all right.
Oh my God. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah. I gotta get some water. Hold on for a second. Oh. All right, you back?
I'm back. I'm back.
Right.
So I had to step outside.
My
girl came home. But nah, man, I've been through a lot.
What's been happening? What's going on?
I don't know what the theme of today is, but basically, I actually had just been let go of my previous employer.
Okay, you kind of low a little bit. I'm not sure what happened, but. Uh-oh. We lose you? We lost you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You hear me good or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm outside, that's why. But
Okay.
Basically, I had my employer let me go.
Okay.
And I had just been so shocked because, as you know, when you know already, you just have your mind clear and you just work more effectively. So I was learning the show. I was like by far the best. Not to be like arrogant or anything, but it was just objectively clear. Like I was being assigned things, you know, that nobody else could even do. You know, I was making less just because I was young, and you know, but I was squeezing out extra money just because it was just obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then something happened. You know, I don't want to give up the name or whatever, but you know, to maintain confidentiality. But basically, something happened where you know it was a safety issue, and you know, it wasn't even my fault. You know, I'm not even a field person. I was on the manager side. But you know, I was basically caught on the line of fire and used to, like, you know, as a scapegoat basically to protect somebody else that was, you know, not even nearly as valuable. But you know, that just taught me so many lessons in terms of, like, you know, not loyalty, but you know, because basically everybody else I was surrounded with was slaves. I forgot to mention that. And there was a few people, but even you could tell they were like still kind of indebted, not indebted, but you know, for example, my manager, direct manager, like he was almost getting his rent paid effectively by the company. You know what I mean? At that level, when you're like almost selling your soul to the devil like that, I mean, I understand why you might have no morals.
So you said they fired you for what? For a safety concern?
Basically for like an error that occurred on because I work construction, like basically an error, like a safety thing that occurred on site, and you know, it turned into like a big thing.
And this was this the first time you ever got wrote up or anything?
This is the first time any like this has ever happened ever.
So you had no derogatory anything on your record?
Nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah, but basically, I mean, as I said, like the scapegoat thing, also like from previous conversations I've had with them, like I know that they not mind tossing like a younger person with more years ahead of them. You know?
I mean, so you are
instead
debt
of
free
someone with
right
like
now,
50.
Right? You're debt free
Say
now,
again?
right? You're debt free now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what you're saying is not.
Well, I have debt, but not like it's just like credit card, just because I spend everything on my credit card. Yeah.
Well, so what you're saying is the experience is much different for you in a situation like what you had right now. What was your thought process as a debt-free person with this happening to you? What was your feeling?
I was just shocked, you know. I was just like in genuine shock, you know. And I was like, wow, like these debt slaves will really give up their most valuable player in return to, like, you know, basically save their ass, or, you know, because they're in survival, you know what
Correct.
I mean? Yeah. And I was like, wow.
It's time. I mean, and that's just business, you know. It's not, you know, people think because they be at a company.
It's unethical business, yeah, but it's business, yes.
And they go for years out of business, but what they don't really understand, each time they get their paycheck, your contract is completed. You've been paid. All right, cool. So it really doesn't matter how many years you've been at a company. Each time you receive a check, you're paid for your time. So it's nothing. Longevity means nothing.
No, exactly, yeah. And what else? Something else I wanted to say also was, well, just a prelude is just that I was intending on leaving the company anyway, like after, you know, the bonus hit, like in December. But and I guess the guys kind of preemptive strike me. But you know, I am sad about losing out on that, but I did kind of force something else in the back end. But anyway,
you got another job now?
Yeah. So I do. I mean, there's like another competitor that's like basically like almost like a funnel to it.
Yeah, it might be time to start your own business. Have you ever thought about starting your own business?
That's
okay. I lost you, man. You lost you. Can't hear you. Hello.
This guy I was working with come in contact with somebody else.
You were gone for like 30 seconds. I couldn't hear a word you're saying about 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so basically the universe almost like lined up, I said.
Okay.
And, you know, a connect I had, you know, put me in touch with somebody else because he, you know, was really horrified with what happened. and he basically was a smaller contractor, but he's not even a contractor. He's like he went to law school. And he just sets up companies, and I was like, oh, set up my company. I'll show you my tricks, because he didn't go to engineering school or anything like me. So I was like, almost tit for tat. And now I have my own 1099 thing.
Okay,
so that's good.
Well, you got to remember too, I want you to look at it this way too, so you don't have to spend too much time on situations like this, right? Understand that certain things forces you to make moves sometimes. The universe forces you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so anything that happens like that, yeah, it's messed up. But it's two ways you can look at it. You can be like, oh man, these guys and this and that. Or you can just say, okay, obviously the universe wanted me to do what you're in right now. Because you never know what this is going to lead to. Because I'm a living testimony of it. Never in a million years did I think I was going to be talking to you on the phone talking about SMD when I first started my IT career.
Oh yeah, and another thing I wanted to say was, in my experiences in this company, again, like I was very competent just coming in. There were skills that I just knew already that they were like, I don't even know how you don't even know this. But one of the experiences I had was like basically, we.
You're breaking up, man. I lost you. just right where he's about to tell us, and it lost him. You back?
Yeah, it's whenever I get a call,
okay.
It cuts out. But so basically, one of the tracks we had to do was outsource some of our schedule making for construction to this company. And the schedule we had needed to do was like so advanced and so ridiculous that they couldn't even do it. And, in my back of my head, I'm like, oh, I know how to do this, but it'll just take me some time. I really don't get paid to do this. So, they failed, and I was like, all right, I spoke to my boss basically, hey, give me some money on the side or some overtime and I'll do it. And, that was I just basically shot on this entire company that does schedule making myself, like over a weekend. I just did it, and it came out great. So that kind of was like the catalyst right there of like, what the hell? This entire company can't do it, and I just did it myself.
Right.
Like, I might as well just put them out of business myself.
Well, that should show you. That's more to show you something when you come in. Because I've done that a few times throughout my career. Come in, revamp something that they're doing, make it better, whatever. Right. That kind of gives you an idea of what you can do for yourself. But just take these skills that you're learning along at these different jobs. Just take what you learn there, take what you learn there, and then it will start forming something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what I was going to say also is that the guy who made my company actually, I saw that he didn't come from an engineering background or whatever, and he could have used like these same skills that I had developed in my employer that canned me. And I almost basically just acquired my first client basically right there. So
oh wow, okay,
it's not bad.
Okay, congratulations, man. That's how it starts.
And although a bunch of shit I learned also on the job was like, I don't know, you work for VMware, but Microsoft Azure, all that stuff. I learned that, and that's very basically the entire IT background. I learned how to set up.
You said you learned Microsoft version of virtual stuff.
No, I was saying because you have a IT background already.
Yeah.
I basically learned like the Microsoft version of the IT world.
Gotcha.
At my company, and I learned how to implement. Like I already implemented that whole thing, and like my company looks legit. It's not, but it's
nice.
It looks legit.
Very nice. Very nice.
And, you already know, like half the battle is just fooling them. So.
Correct. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's how it happens, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man. So don't look at those things as bad. Look, those are good things. Like sometimes the universe has to force things to happen, because if you don't do it, it needs to force you. Like you were already, just like you said, you were already thinking about leaving, right? So the universe is sitting back. Okay, cool. I don't have to do no work. Okay, he's taking too long, and then it just makes it happen.
Exactly. Right.
It's always on time. That's what I've learned. Universe is always on time, never late.
Yeah, I could go into more detail, but I know you've been going for a long time already. But
all right, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you.
For sure.
I'm trying to get more people to jump up here and not be scared or intimidated and all that stuff.
I took a break from SMD. Sometimes I gotta get in my zone. You feel me? But
right.
I freaking that's all happened to me. I was like, yo, I gotta tell LJ, man, this is crazy. This is like this is slave explaining on steroids. And all my entire time there, I didn't really reflect on it because I was just like, kind of in survival mode myself, but just in a professional way.
Right.
Right. Basically, I was like, yo, you guys have been slave explaining to me this whole fucking time. God damn. I should have been left. It's just my first job out of college, so I was like,
But you didn't know, though. You didn't know. Now you know.
I didn't know, yeah.
That's all it is. You didn't know.
Exactly.
That is funny. You've been slave explaining the whole damn time. You don't know it until you know.
Yeah, I was just putting up with it, like, oh, maybe it was just a one-off.
Right. You just tolerating it.
Yeah. Some people, the program still lingers, but it sucks.
Well, all right, sir, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. But another thing I just want to say, just a final point. For this whole business thing that I was talking about, like, it's one thing to like just make it. Anyone could just make one, right? But the path forward, is also very clear. Like I have a path, as I said, like the client thing, services, IT thing. I guess I kind of spoke about it.
See how clear you can see it. See how clear you can see it.
It's so clear. Like that's another point I wanted to make. Like it's just
that's
so
when
easy.
you know. That's when you know when it's that clear.
And it's almost like I almost don't even want to get another W-2 job. I just want to like dedicate my time because I know I could take it all the way. I could take it all the way to the line. Like
that's it.
Like I'm talking like downtown Chicago office. Like I could go off.
That's it. And it's clear. And you're the only one that needs to see it. You don't have to convince nobody.
Yeah.
You don't have to, because they're going to say, oh, man, this might happen. When the business fails in 1 to 5 years, all that stupid nonsense. You got to stay away from people like that. Stay away from that.
Yeah. Another thing that was funny, too, when people say, like, oh, you can't tell people what your business idea is. And it's funny because, like, even if I were to tell you and explain it to you exactly how to execute it, you still couldn't because you don't have the experience.
Correct.
Or even the buyer.
Correct. That is exactly correct. That's correct.
Now that's just more slave lives. I mean, I guess sometimes it applies, but
sometimes. But you're learning how to filter it out now. You're learning how to filter out slave training advice from real advice. You know what I'm saying? Helpful advice.
Yeah. I mean, maybe one day, I'm probably going to talk to someone about it pretty soon, but, maybe if you could talk, well, actually, it's probably a premiumship, the difference between like LLC and, S Corp and all that. I'm learning all that now from fresh. So.
Well, see, you can skip all that. Just hire a good business analyst. Oh, I lost you, but if you can still hear me, go find a good business analyst and tell them what you're trying to do. If you can find somebody who's personally debt-free, will be nice. That would be nice, but you pay somebody that knows what to do so you don't have to start all over. Pay somebody
sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Pay somebody to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, for sure.
Yeah, don't waste your brain energy on that. Find somebody that already knows, and you tell them what your idea is or what you're trying to do, and let them figure that out.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing that, and not only just that way. I mean, I'm doing that for a lot of shit. It's crazy. It's like the whole business is almost doing that.
Yeah, when I set up my first business last 2020, I paid somebody to do that because I didn't know anything about it. I knew if I find the right person to set it up correctly, I could easily maintain it. I could just understand all the pieces and just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of starting from scratch.
It's funny you say that too, because like if you just think about it, that's all a business really is. It's just you paying someone to take care of something that you don't even want to do.
Correct.
Which I'm doing myself now.
Right.
Or I'm about to do it.
I would strongly suggest, if you never set it up, I would strongly suggest you pay somebody to set it up correctly if you've never done it before.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be able to maintain it because you already got the capacity to understand whatever. Once it's in place, you're gonna make it better. You could probably even make it better than what they do. Because I even saw, even the person I hired that did it, he did it right, but I even found a couple of things that I would do differently on how I would have set it up. I would have like, oh, I wouldn't have did this. I would have did it that way, and things like that.
Yeah. Even it's crazy too. Like even at a more metaphysical level, like all commerce and economy, I feel is just like, I mean, some people say it's like force. You can make an argument for that, but it's just, you know, leveraging knowledge. You know, like even the whole thing of like, you know, that this person who set up this company for me, like he just did it in like freaking 5 minutes. He took my ID, he took my debit card, paid $125 for it, and I was like, "Are you serious? You could have paid me like, you could have charged me like $1,000 for it. I would have paid it.
You would have paid it exactly. But if
That's
they're
crazy.
good and what they
Nice
do,
enough to be free. Yeah.
yeah, if they do it perfectly and it matches up, IRS says, okay, we're good. The state, local, hey man, do it. Because that's what when I get out, you know how much I'm gonna be charging for my services? Because this service will change your life. People don't even know. They're gonna have to pay. It's no different. Same thing when you start your stuff, it's gonna be the same thing.
Exactly. Anyway, I'll leave you now. Thank you for entertaining me.
Thank you, sir, for coming up, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, LJ. Peace out.
All right, man. Changing lives. What's up, Nick? Oh man, I guess I'm gonna wrap this up. I gotta get ready to get out of here in a few hours. Oh, I'm excited about the new channel, man. I'm gonna try to hold out to January 1st. I'm gonna try. I still gotta get through November and I gotta get through December. I don't know, man. I'm getting bored of just talking about this stuff. Debt slaves, they're abusing you, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I can help you. People really not. Okay, well, time to go to it's time to reach. I know with 6 cents is going to connect with all the people because a lot of people you guys don't really care about getting out of debt. Some people think credit's everything. That's the only way I'm going to get a house. I'm fighting through a lot of psychological stuff. I think once you guys realize how narcissists are intertwined in your everyday lives, my focus is going to be the ones in relationships because that's the only one I can really speak about. Excuse me, the only type I can speak about. Sorry about the loud burp. That's the only one I can speak about because I think people need to know about that because a lot of people are, man or woman, it doesn't matter. A lot of people are stuck in these type of relationships and they don't know that they're in it. Like me, I didn't know I was in it. Now, the average person, if I told them everything that was going on in the relationship, they would have said, why are you with her? Why are you staying with her? Because of it's called a trauma bond. It's horrible. I mean, I can't even explain to you how horrible this was. This was horrible. This was a horrible, horrible relationship. But when you're in it, you're confused. You're like, why is this person treating me like this? Why are they doing that? And then you get out, you're like, oh, that's a disorder. That's a disorder. When you start reading about it, it'll help you take your feelings out of it. It'll help you take your feelings out because these people, they do some horrible things to you. Horrible. And one of them is a pathological liar. They lie about everything. Stuff they don't even need to lie about. You come across a person. Have you ever come across a person? They lie about something they don't have to lie about? That's a problem. That's a problem. If you're lucky enough for this person just to be your friend and you catch them lying about stuff they don't have to lie about, you can just leave that friend. You can say, hey, I can't be friends with you because if they lie about stuff they don't have to lie about, what are they lying about that they're not telling you about? Because you better believe they'll never tell you. Ever. Ever. The mind games they play alone will keep you, sure will. And you know, so crazy, Rainy Woman, this is so crazy. In my opinion, I don't think narcissists know they're narcissists. I don't think so. So when they do these mind games, you guys remember to understand that when they do these mind games, it's really their reality in Narc's world. It seems like it's mind games to us because it's not us. We don't do stuff like that. So we're like, why are you do? Because that's what they do in their world. They do that to each other. When you see exes hanging around, texting or something, that means they are there. And I think about it like this. This is how I think. Now that I'm out, let me give you guys an example. Now that I'm out, and now I think about the exes, I'm thinking to myself, these guys obviously knew she had a disorder. They had to know that. This did not start with me. And I'm thinking to myself, and you're still messing with her? Are you crazy? There is no way in any circumstances, under any conditions, will I ever be in contact with her in any form ever again. Never, ever. And when you see these guys still doing stuff behind the back, you're like, they're in that. That is bananas to me. I'm like, I would not even mess with a woman in any form or fashion that did the shit she did to me. Oh, hell no. That's a perspective. They do that stuff in there. They cheat and lie and mess around on each other and do all that other stuff. They think that's normal. So it's not really a mind game. That's just their life. You just got to get out of it. The reason why the people that are in it think it's mind games, because you're in it. Once you get out of it, you're like, oh, that's just them. That's just them. No truth. Everybody lies, pretending they're together and still talking to other people and all these apps, secret apps, and hiding stuff. That will drive you crazy trying to keep. It drove me crazy trying to figure out stuff and this and that. They love it when you're looking, when you're doing stuff. They enjoy hiding, making it more secret. They get off on that stuff. You got to leave them. The one thing mine wasn't expecting, which is bananas, is that I was going to leave one day. They really believe that you're going to stay there and take it. That tells you right there, it's a complete disorder. But then again, there are people that stay for years of abuse. You know how many men are trapped in the exact same situation I was? Let me tell you, I'm going to give you some advice, man. Okay, I'm going to give you some advice. If you are with a woman who is a malignant, covert narcissist, one way in public, different way behind the scenes, and you got married and kids and whatever tied with, you think there's no way out, that's why she's keeping a hold of you, because she don't believe you'll let go of everything to keep your sanity. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to let go of everything. When I left and went no contact, I saw a whole different person. I'm like begging and just crying and email after begging, please talk to me, please. Oh my God, I can't do this without you. Oh my God. I'm thinking, that's weird. Why are you crying like that? I don't get it. You don't know why I'm leaving? That's even more weird. You don't know why I'm leaving. Telling everybody, oh my God, I don't know why Linnell's leaving me. I can't believe you don't. That even solidifies even more why I left. Please, can I talk to you for just 30 minutes? Come on, please. No, absolutely not. No, of course not. That's weird. Why are you even asking me that question? That's called hoovering. When you leave them, they're going to hoover you. Oh my God, I'll change. I'll be this and that. It's too late. Sorry, it's too late. I'm not that dude. I know you thought that. I know I let you believe that, but I'm not that. Now that I'm on the other side, first question, like this is for the men, so you guys can understand something. When you get to this perspective where I'm at today, sex is not the first thing on my mind. Don't get me wrong. Do I think about it? Of course. It just doesn't control me. Yeah, that's the difference. It doesn't control me. So that's not the first thing in my mind when I meet a woman. It's not the first thing. First thing, are you in debt? If the answer is yes, I guess we ain't doing nothing. We can be friends, maybe. It counts on how you complain about your life. You complain about your debt. You complain about your job. You complain about all the hours you're working. We're not even being friends. Then you got to get to the psychological part. First, I got to see if you got any self-accountability. Hey, tell me about your past relationship. Hey, it was his fault. He did this. He hit me. He did that. Because my ex told me all that. Oh, this guy hit me. He talked about my mama. He this and that. Everything she was doing to me. Everything she told me that the ex was doing, she was doing to me. Everything. Everybody did everything to her. Everything. Red flag, no self-accountability. That's a red flag. Okay. They don't know. Narcissists don't know these kind of questions. So they won't know. Don't worry about it. They won't know why you're asking these questions. And then the second question you ask, what is your relationship with your parents? How is your relationship? So let me tell you why. This is what I learned in my journey. I was raised by my mother, with unconditional love since birth, all the way up to my age today. Unconditional love. Raised beautiful. Everything was wonderful. I had no problems. So I took this love and I took it out into the world, and I was trying to find it with this love that I had. And I accidentally gave it to a narcissist, which I didn't know existed. Now you got to remember, if you ask a woman on her date, hey, how's your love with your parents? And she says she shows absolutely no love for her parents whatsoever, that's a problem. You already know her love is not going to match your love. So you got to be careful. You got to say, oh, I didn't know that. So have you gone to counseling for that? Or have you talked to anybody? Oh, no, I ain't talked. Okay. You don't think you need to see anybody about? Nope, I'm fine. Okay. Ask about past relationships. You look at the past dude. Oh, he ain't this and that. He was that and that, but you had a baby by him? Oh, I really wasn't in love with him. It wasn't this and that. I was just having fun. But then you decide to have a kid by him. Stories don't make sense. You got to pay attention to that stuff. You got to leave. You guys probably saw a lot of red flags in your relationships. You probably did. But when you're in it, oh, love and sex and this and that. Because you got to remember, you got to tie two things together. The most strongest things I had the worst. I was tied with love and sex, the two of the strongest drugs in the world. That really fogs things up. Then once you're out, you're like, oh, damn. I allowed that? You sure did. That's the new me today that took over me and got me out. And now I'm asking the question, I allowed that? Yep, sure did. She put her hands on me. Yep, all the time. Ripped your clothes, all that. Broke your computer, broke your stuff, all that. And then when I leave, she cries. Don't even make any sense. That's a doctor. You ever have somebody cheat on you and then they cry when you leave them? Why are you crying? That's how you got to look at it. You got to take your emotions out of it. You got to take your emotions completely out. If you're in a relationship, you have a partner that cheat on you, and then you decide to leave them, and they start crying, you got to take your emotions out of it and turn to them and say, why are you crying? Didn't you cheat? Yeah. Well, why didn't you start crying before you had sex with the other person? Why didn't you start crying then? They're not going to have an answer. Please don't leave me. Well, why not? You just cheated on me. What, you want me to stay? That doesn't even make any sense. This is how you got to look at it. That's how I looked at all the crying voicemails. I had no desire to call back and say, oh, don't cry like that. Why are you crying? I don't get it. Why all these emails? Why are you sending me all these emails of your life now and how it's going to be? You should have thought about that. I don't get it. Narcissists are weird. They're in Narc's world. Now that I'm out, I can still see narcissists, even if I'm not in a relationship with them. I can see them. Whenever I run into one in the world, that they're everywhere, when I spot one, I'm gonna stare right at them. Just to make sure he knows or she knows I can see him. Oh, I know who you are. I know what kind of person I know people like you. I know. Now, when I say stare at them, I'm not saying, it's not like a confrontation, like, oh yeah, we're gonna fight. It's nothing like that. It's not like that, because you got to remember, narcissists are cowards, frail individuals with very, very low self-esteem. It's so low that you get tired of even trying to pick them up. It's like, when you gonna pick up yourself? I'm tired of carrying you. Because being with a narcissist, it's like being with a 10-year-old child. They can't do nothing themselves, nothing, just nothing. It's like, damn, my kids are grown. I got more stuff for the 6th Sense channel than I believe I have for Savings Minus Debt. Because Savings Minus Debt, I'm pretty much... What else can I say about debt slaves? What abuse, how they're doing you with student loans, credit cards, home. That's like, okay, all right, whatever. But with the 6th Sense channel and knowing about narcissists, oh man, they're intertwined everywhere. They're everybody: brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, cousin, anybody. They're everybody. You thought I love SMD? Oh man, 6th Sense. I got 6 years worth of information. 6 years. Some I forgot, some I wrote down, some I recorded. When I say record myself talking about certain things. I'm not here. Let's make sure this is clear. I'm not here to expose the actual woman herself, because I know it's not her by herself. I allowed her, whatever she did, listen, I allowed her to do what she did. I could, at any point, I could have said, oh, no, I'm leaving, just like I did. But like I said, when you're in it, you don't realize there are people that can do that for years. Now, don't get me wrong. They can't hold them. Like when you first meet a narcissist, they can probably hold the fake self of them for about maybe 3 to 6 months. And then you're going to start little things here and there that are not going to make sense. That story that they told you in the beginning is not going to match this story that you probably hear 6 months from now. And you're going to either let it slide or make them correct it. I strongly suggest you make them correct it immediately. If they told you a story and you know the way you heard it because they like to gaslight you. Oh, I didn't really say it that way. No, you say, no, you did. Now you're saying it differently. Explain yourself. And if they run in circles or try to make up stuff, you leave them. You leave a narcissist, let them know, not to me. You're not doing that to me. Maybe to other people, other men, but not me. Like the one I left, for the rest of her life, she will know that I left her. There's nothing she can do about it. She knows I left her. Blocked on everything. So she knows that I'm not looking at anything she's doing. I don't even want to know what she's doing. I don't care what she's doing. It's none of my business. I take the lesson and then I grow. Because you better guarantee she's watching me. Guaranteed. That's what she does. I know. That's what they do. They all do that. Guaranteed. Watch my videos, everything. She will forever know that my growth is because of our experience together. That's the only way I can know what I'm knowing today. That's the only way. If you've never experienced a narcissistic relationship, you can't know. I'm not saying that I want you to know, but you can't know. Lack of remorse, lack of empathy. Want to see something interesting? Watch two narcissists in a relationship with each other talk about, hey, you know what's so crazy? Her and her ex are like that. Two narcissists exploded. I remember one time, let me give you an example. I remember one time we went to her child's school event in the evening. Now, this is elementary school. You know, these fools argued in the school. They argued in the school. I was like, what is going on here? Am I here today? If that happened to me and I was out with somebody, I would leave that person right there. I would leave. Argued at the elementary school, embarrassed the son. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? I kid you not. I was like, I can't believe it. I don't want anybody to know I'm with her. But today, now I know why that was so explosive. See, back then, I didn't know why that was so explosive. I did not. I was like, what's going on? Why are they arguing? Oh, now I know. They always argued, always on the phone, always talking on the phone. I'm like, you guys, man. Now I know why. Couldn't even listen. Couldn't even respect their own child. They don't stop and think, hey, wait a minute. What if our child's friends and parents see us arguing? They're going to tease him. Hey, I heard your parents were arguing at the school event last night. I saw them over there in the corner screaming and yelling. Didn't even think twice about it. I was like, I thought I was living in the Twilight Zone. I'm looking at the this was so crazy. When I looked at the grandparents, they kind of looked at me and kind of just like shrugged the shoulders, right? But I think to myself, now that I'm out after the fact, I think, obviously you already knew. You already knew how she was, or they are, or whatever, because it wasn't a big shock to them. They wasn't like, oh my God, why are they doing this? Because that would shock me. That would completely shock me. I'm like, what are you doing? You're embarrassing us at a school event. Are you crazy? You got to remember, you guys got to understand this, and this is true. I know this is way off the subject, but Narcissists don't care about nothing, not even their own children. Now, I know those of you out there that love your children to death and this and that, and it's a natural thing. It's hard for you to understand that there are parents that do not and don't care and don't even care. That's the disorder. Makes no sense at all. You don't care about your kid's feelings? What if he gets teased now because his parents embarrassed him in school? Didn't even care. Sometimes I think about myself back then, and I could talk about myself now because I'm not that dude anymore. I would have never. I would have left. I wouldn't even said nothing. I would have left. I'm not getting involved in that. Are you crazy? Hell no, no. And so dramatic. Everything is such a big deal when it's concerned them, but let it be about you and your trip. Exactly. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do. Narcs are selfish people. They only care about themselves. That's exactly. Sorry, Narc. Hey, listen, I'm here. My 6 Sense channel is going to help you guys able to identify narcs, point them out, and make sure you never, ever get into a relationship with one, have sex with one, involve your emotions at all in any form or fashion. I don't care if it's your brother, sister, mom, dad. You gotta stare a narc in their face and say, no, narc, not here. I can see you. There was a couple times when I was slowly waking up and I would argue with her, and this would come out in me naturally. Okay. I don't even know where it came from. Every now and then I would look at her and say, do you know I can see you? She didn't understand what it meant. Neither did I at the time. But now I do. Oh yeah, I could see her clear. Oh yeah. I would invest any kind of any feelings in a person like that. You just don't. I'm excited. I don't even know if I can wait till January 1st. I'm really excited about it. I'm I'm gonna try my best because that's 2 months away. I'm gonna keep myself occupied. I'm gonna keep myself occupied with my other business for now. But once that starts rolling right, I'm gonna come back to it and see where we at. It might be close to December. It might be. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up, you guys. I gotta get ready to get out of here soon. So thank you, Roddy, for joining. Much appreciated. What'd you say, Randy? When we said they are incapable of caring about anyone or anything except for how they can use them like pawns on a chessboard. That's a disorder. So you gotta, once you understand that, once you understand what narcissists do, all you guys do is just be able to identify them. Then they're no harm to you. They're really weak and fragile and insecure. Do it this way. Call one fat, or say your teeth are wrong or something. They will crumble. They will crumble like a child, like the 10-year-old child they are. They will crumble. When I left mine, let me put it this way, I'm gonna leave it. When I left mine, that was the only time she gave me respect, when I left her. Never a wrong word in an email, never a wrong word in a voicemail. Packed my stuff up neatly so I could come and get it. I didn't ask her to do any of that. Packed my stuff up and everything, packed it up. Hey, it's here, wrote on the boxes, this is that, this is this. And I'm like, whoa. You ain't showed me no respect in the whole relationship until I leave. Until you leave. That's when you get your respect back. You got to show them. And make sure she understands that I'm not one of those dudes that you're going to be able to recycle and come back and have. No, she knows that she will never meet me again or see me or contact me or talk to me or nothing. That will never happen again, ever. She knew that before I left. I don't do that. So they stay in their circle of narcissists that share that with each other. And then they are that way until they die, thinking that the whole perspective of the world is like that, cheating and lying and deceiving and not trusting people. And that was her whole world. Not my world. I'm gonna give you guys that, and I'm out. All right. We can go on forever, Reigning Woman. You clearly know. I can tell by the way you're even talking. You clearly understand. That's called hoovering. When they start apologizing after you leave them. No, what this is, okay, and I'm gonna leave it with you guys this. Just in case this happens to you. Say like you got the courage up till you finally leave them. They're not going to believe you because you took them back so many times. So you got to give it about a month. That's when it'll kick in. Give it a few weeks to a month. And then they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, something's different. Something's different. And then when they start apologizing for stuff and doing all this stuff, don't listen to the apology. You listen for self-accountability, self-reflection. You won't hear none of that in the apology because they don't possess it. They cannot look in the mirror. They won't. They're too afraid to be alone. You have, in order for do self-reflection, you have to be alone. Narcissists are never alone. My ex was on so many sites with pictures on each one of the sites looking like she's single the whole time we were together, the whole time. Hey, why do you look like you're single on your side? Oh, you're tripping. I'm not really. No, you're not tripping. That's what she was doing. You remove yourself. I remove myself from that because that will be her life, her entire life. Sites and secrets and passwords and this and that. That's how they live their life. Do not fall for that's the whole world. That's the whole perspective. No, that is their perspective in Narc's world. Once you leave that world, they don't really bother me. Like, I don't really look at her like that now. She doesn't bother me. She's no longer part of my life. She doesn't affect my life in any way whatsoever. But I know it's a whole bunch of them, and they will be forever in there doing that stuff, and diseases and hurting their children and not really caring. They do that until death, obviously. All right, I'm out. See you later. Bye-bye.